Hello, this is Jose Coyol, Associate Planner with the City of Oxnard's Community Development Department in the Planning Division. Today I will be narrating Planning and Zoning Permit 21-516-17, Advocate Society LLC doing business as Advocate Society for a commercial cannabis business retail special use permit known as SUP for the location at 2550 North Vineyard Avenue with an APN of 145-0 232-165 for the upcoming February 17th, 2022 Planning Commission meeting. The project description: a request to permit the operation of a commercial cannabis retail facility within an existing 4,566 square foot commercial suite of an approximately 5,270 square foot multi-tenant commercial building on a zero point zero 0.01 acre site. As part of the project, there'll be tenant improvement consisting of the following: the installation of new partition walls, security upgrades to the existing building, minor plumbing upgrades, upgrades to an existing fire alarm system, and the installation of secure doors and windows. Cannabis retail operations will be conducted between 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. Administrative parking relief to decrease the number of required parking spaces by the center from 53 parking spaces to 47 parking spaces. Application was filed by Ronald Jenkins. The project location: the subject site will be located at 2550 North Vineyard Avenue, as can be seen to the right within the vicinity map. This is on the northern part of the city, adjacent to US 101. The general plan and zoning maps. The general plan land use designation is Commercial General CG, while the zoning designation is General Commercial Plan Development known as C-2-PD. The existing site. The subject site at 2550 North Vineyard Avenue has the following uses identified in this table. Note that the general plan and the zoning designation are the same around the perimeter of the project site. The project site has a general plan of Commercial General CG and a zoning designation of General Commercial Plan Development with an existing land use of Commercial Shopping Center. To the north, south, east, and west, the same general plan and zoning designations exist. To the north, existing land use is Commercial Shopping Center. To the south, once again, it's Commercial Shopping Center. And to the east, there's an existing Commercial Shopping Center. On the west side, there is a fast food restaurant with a drive through. Existing conditions. This is a street view looking southeast at the project, as can be identified by the yellow arrow. That is where the project is going to be located in. Background: development history. On September 30th, 1988, the Planning Commission approved Plan Development 461 to allow the construction of two commercial buildings. 1988 to current, various tenant improvements to accommodate general commercial establishments. Background: cannabis regulations. On April 2018, the City Council adopted a cannabis delivery ordinance including permitting fees. In January 2019, the state legalized cannabis delivery by state licensed firms and eliminated the city's ability to regulate cannabis delivery. On June 18, 2019, City Council adopted Ordinance Number 2960 establishing regulations pertaining to manufacturing, testing, and distribution of cannabis. On October 1st, 2019, City Council then adopted Ordinance Number 2965, modifying the discretionary permitting process along with other non-substantive ordinance adjustments pertaining to manufacturing, testing, and distribution of cannabis. On September 15, 2020, City Council adopted Ordinance 2985 to update the cannabis regulations in the city's newly adopted Industrial Code, Chapter 16 of the Oxnard City Code, known as OCC. Background: cannabis regulations continued. Then finally, on December 1st, 2020, City Council adopted Ordinance 2994 establishing regulations to repeal and re-adopt the former city's commercial cannabis regulations pertaining to cannabis manufacturing, distribution, testing, and retail dispensaries contained in Chapter 11 of the Oxnard City Code. Commercial cannabis selection. On January 7, 2021, Advocate Society LLC, doing business as Advocate Society, filed for a request to obtain a commercial cannabis permit for a 4,566 square foot cannabis retail facility. On March 1st, 2020, 1. Advocate Society LLC, doing business as Advocate Society, was awarded a conditional commercial cannabis business permit for cannabis retail. In order to successfully commence and inaugurate the commercial cannabis business permit, Advocate Society LLC, doing business as Advocate Society, is required to receive approval of a special use permit as specified within Oxnard City Code Section 11-457. The site plan. As can be seen here, the project will be located along the southeast corner of this shopping center. The shopping center borders Vineyard Avenue and Ventura Boulevard and is located on the northeast corner of that intersection. Building B is identified as a separate building of 9,675 square feet, and on the south side, we'll have another building A consisting of 5,270 square feet. Building A, as can be seen here with the shadowed gray, is the area in which the 4,566 square foot cannabis retail facility will be located in. And then there is going to be a tenant space left over that houses 900 square feet. Parking at the site can be seen here in the middle of the screen. Main access is through a shared agreement with the adjacent shopping center that houses Vallarta and other general commercial uses. And so there will be access to this shopping center between Ventura Boulevard and Vineyard Avenue. Other improvements at the site will consist of a new trash enclosure with a rooftop over, and then also upgrades to the ADA parking. No other upgrades to the exterior being proposed. Elevations, as can be seen here, the project is not going to be changing the architecture of the shopping center, and instead it's going to be utilizing the existing storefront and other service doors and main doors, and there will be a tenant improvement to go ahead and make sure that they're safe in order to accommodate the cannabis retail use. Administrative parking relief via reduction in parking based on the uses of the shopping center. This table better summarizes the required parking as well as the parking study needed to go ahead and review the administrative parking relief component. In this particular table, we see that shopping center retail makes up 10,575 square feet. And the parking requirement per the Oxnard City Code within Section 16622F is 1 per 300 square feet of gross floor area, which is legal nonconforming to the site, requiring a total of 35 parking spaces. The parking requirement per the IT Parking Generation Manual through the parking study identified this as 1.95 parking spaces per 1,000 square feet, resulting in a total requirement of ITE of 20 parking spaces. The total provided are 35 parking spaces. The proposed cannabis development is 4,566 square feet. The parking requirement is 1 per 250 square feet of gross floor area, resulting in 18 parking spaces, where the parking requirement per ITE parking generation manual is 7.19 parking spaces per 1,000 square feet, resulting in a total required of ITE 33 parking spaces. The total provided is 12 parking spaces. Please note that in both of these analyses, the park study peak observation demand observed is 21 spaces. At the bottom here, the totals are lined up. So the total required parking per the City of Oxnard's parking code is 53 parking spaces. The total requirement per the ITE parking generation manual is 53 parking spaces, and the total provided is 47 parking spaces at the site. The total peak demand of observation based on the current uses at the shopping center is established at 21 spaces. So there is about more than half of the required parking that's left over in order to accommodate the proposed cannabis retail anticipated parking if needed. Administrative parking relief. The project has been conditioned to prohibit employees from the cannabis retail facility to park on site, resulting in six or more parking spaces to be free of vehicles. Requirements from Advocate Society to cover the employees' cost to travel to and from work, provide a manifest to the city, documenting employees' method of travel to and from work, including associated receipts to cover employees' cost to travel to and from work, and each employee to sign an affidavit affirming the accuracy of this manifest. Floor plan and security plan. The applicant provided a security plan with a detailed floor plan which was reviewed and conditionally approved by the police department. Security measures of the site include private security is required at the property. Security cameras will be installed. Adequate lighting will be provided on site, and cannabis products will be monitored, tracked, and placed in secure storage. Public comments. The project is located within the El Rio neighborhood. On September 10th, 2021, the site was posted with the project details and community workshop information, and the developer mailed out 2008 meeting notices. On September 20th, 2021, the project was presented to the public during a community workshop meeting. The meeting was attended by approximately 28 members of the public, and persons had an opportunity to ask questions. Public comments continued. Staff received six comments during the community workshop, which are summarized here. Eh, Educating the local youth on cannabis products. Law enforcement needs to be more transparent on cannabis home growing and possession. Possible robberies due to close proximity to the 101 freeway. Local equity programs for minorities. Inspiration to see members of the Oxnard community running cannabis businesses. And need to give back to the community. Following the community workshop, staff has not received additional comments. Key conditions of approval. Condition 34 and 35 are, are to prohibit employees from parking at the site. Conditions 15, 43, and 44 are to abide by the City of Oxnard and the State of California's rules and regulations related to this business. Condition 40. The commercial cannabis business permit shall expire and be subject to renewal process in Chapter 11 of the Oxnard City Code 12 months after the date of issuance of the SUP pursuant to Oxnard City Code Section 11459. Retail operational conditions can be seen in conditions 60 to 62 and 135 through 136. This provides regulatory action of cannabis retail procedures to allow only eligible members of the community to purchase product and allow for a secure selling environment. Police conditions are within conditions of approval 85 through 158. Security features will be implemented as required by the adopted cannabis ordinance. Key conditions of approval continued. Fire department conditions are within conditions of approval numbers 159 through 178. This broad range of numbers indicates that the system is to be designed to be a safe facility. Community benefits and community relations are within conditions of approval number 50 through 53 and 65 through 66. The project is conditioned to be a good neighbor and member of the community. Finally, taxes and inventory are located within conditions of approval numbers 54 through 55 and 69 through 77. These set of conditions help the operator be a responsible corporate citizen. Environmental review. In accordance with Section 15301, Class 1, existing facilities of the State of California's Environmental Quality Act, known as CEQA guidelines, projects involving negligible or no expansion of use beyond that existing at the time of the lead agency's determination may be found to be exempt from the requirements of CEQA. The project includes a request to operate a cannabis retail facility within an existing individual building, and the project will not increase the square footage of the existing building. No substantial evidence the project will have a significant effect on the environment. A notice of exemption will be filed. Staff's recommendation that the Planning Commission A find the project to be categorically exempt from environmental review pursuant to the California Environmental Quality Act, known as CEQA, Guidelines Section 15301 existing facilities, and B adopt Resolution 2022-XX approving planning and zoning permit number 21-516-17 special use permit cannabis retail subject to certain findings and conditions. This concludes staff's presentation of the upcoming Planning Commission meeting on February 17, 2022. Staff will be available for further questions at this meeting. Thank you.